It's the curb. It's the curb that's done it. He took his hands off the wheel, luckily.
See, that wasn't his fault.
Sergio will say.
We all know Lance Stroll has ruined countless F1 races, from crashing into Fernando Alonso at 200 miles per hour to destroying Charles Leclerc's weekend. But what happens when the pay driver destroys Mad Max Verstappen's session? You won't believe what happened next. The controversy shook the entire F1 world, sparked an international incident, and exposed the ugliest side of Formula One's biggest rivalry.
It doesn't really matter or not if you deserve to be here. A lot of people deserve to be here. Some don't deserve to be here. That's life.
This is the story of Lance Stroll versus Max Verstappen. Let's start with the facts. Max Verstappen isn't just any F1 driver, he's a phenomenon. Max's incredible record, 4-time world champion, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. 71 Grand Prix wins from 233 races, entered 48 pole positions, 127 podiums. Win percentage, 30.73%, highest on the current grid, youngest ever race winner at 18 years and 228 days. Record 19 wins in a single season, 2023. Record 10 consecutive race, wins 3,444.5 career points.
Max Verstappen wins! 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 Max Verstappen wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix!
Max is aggressive, wheel to wheel, no nonsense. He's called Mad Max for a reason. He races on the absolute limit. He won't back down from anyone. If there's a gap, he goes for it. His overtakes are legendary. His racecraft, unmatched. But there's a dark side. Max has a temper. When things go wrong, he explodes. Now, Lance Stroll. Let's be brutally honest here. Lance's reality check. 10 seasons in F1, 2017 to 2026. 0 wins in 190 races. Just 3 podiums, all fortunate circumstances. 1 pole position, Turkey 2020, wet qualifying. 325 career points total, 31 DNFs 2025. 14 Q1 eliminations, worst on the grid. Career best, 10th in championship, 2023. The elephant in the room. Lance's father, Lawrence Stroll, owns Aston Martin F1. Lance doesn't need to perform. His seat is guaranteed. He's not there on merit. He's there because of money. Inconsistent, accident-prone, poor spatial awareness, doesn't check mirrors, makes amateur mistakes despite years of experience. His teammates Massa, Perez, Vettel, Alonso have all destroyed him in qualifying and race pace. The contrast? Max is 30.73% win rate. Lance is 0% win rate. Max has 127 podiums. Lance has 3. This isn't even close. This is where it all went down. Max was on a flying lap during practice 2 at Portimao. Lance had just finished his flying lap on the previous lap. According to F1 protocol, Lance should have backed off and let faster cars through. But here's the problem. Lance's team told him to do another flying lap. Lance didn't check his mirrors. Max assumed Lance was backing off. Both committed to turn 1. Boom, massive collision. Lance spins into the gravel. Max's Red Bull is damaged. Session red, flagged. And this is where Max lost it. Here's what he said on team radio, broadcast live to millions. Is this f***ass guy blind? What the f*** is wrong with him? Jesus Christ. What a retard. I have damage. What a Mongol. I swear. Let's break this down. He called Lance blind. He called him retarded. An ableist slur against people with disabilities. He called him Mongol. A racist and ableist term used to insult both Mongolians and people with Down's syndrome. This was broadcast live. Millions heard it. The F1 world was shocked. When asked about his language post-crash, Max's response: It's not my problem. No apology, no remorse, just not my problem. The reaction was immediate. 1. The Mongolian government got involved. Mongolia's UN ambassador, Lundeg Puravsuren, wrote formal complaints to the FIA, Formula One's governing body, Red Bull CEO, Dietrich Mateschitz, Aston Martin CEO, Red Bull sponsor. The letter said, "I regret the use of racist and unethical language in public. There should not be any form of racial discrimination in sports." 2. Mongol Identity Organization Ugana Ramsey, director of Mongol Identity, whose son had Down syndrome, released an open letter demanding an apology and sensitivity training. Media backlash. Sky F1's David Croft condemned the language on air. Multiple F1 journalists called for penalties. Comparisons were made to other sports where racial slurs result in bans. 4. Max's apology. Days later, Max gave this weak response. "I never intended to offend anyone. It happened in the heat of the moment. I don't say the words I chose were the right ones." But he never publicly apologized to Mongolia, to disability advocates, or to Lance. 5. The FIA's response: nothing, no penalty, no fine, no suspension, 0 consequences. Red Bull's Helmut Marko privately told Max this should not happen again. That's it. After the crash investigation, the stewards ruled. Their reasoning: both drivers could have contributed to avoid the incident. It was a misunderstanding. Max assumed Lance was backing off. Lance didn't know Max was there. Translation: 50-50, racing incident. But here's the problem. Max's language was never penalized. The racist, ableist slurs, no consequences. Compare this to other sports. Premier League. Luis Suarez got an 8-match ban for racial language. NASCAR. Kyle Larson lost sponsors and was suspended for using a slur. F1. Nothing. Max kept racing. Business as usual. Fast forward to May 2025, Miami Sprint qualifying. Max was driving slowly on track during SQ1 due to a dashboard programming error. Lance, on a flying lap, encountered Max in the middle of the track at the final corner. Lance had to brake and swerve around him, losing 3 to 4 tenths of a second. Lance's response: "Verstappen was just completely in the middle of the track. I had to brake on the inside. We lost like 3 or 4 tenths just there. I hope they investigate it, because if we can all just do that and drive on the line, it's not so fun." The result: Lance was eliminated in Q1 by 0.114 seconds. The time he lost to Max received no penalty for impeding. Different incident investigated. Red Bull got a reprimand for the dashboard error. Once again, Max faced minimal consequences. So what happens when the rich kid destroys Mad Max's race? Max exploded with racist and ableist language. An international incident erupted. The FIA did nothing. Max faced 0 consequences. Lance remained the grid's most criticized driver. Their tension continues today. This controversy exposed F1's double standards. Pay drivers versus merit. Lance has a guaranteed seat regardless of performance. Max earned his through talent. Consequences versus privilege. Max can use slurs without penalty. Others would face bans. Money versus skill. F1 protects both: the billionaire's son and the champion who sells tickets. The irony: Max criticized Lance for being blind and incompetent. But Max's language was more damaging than any crash. One was a racing incident. The other was intentional harm. Who's really wrong here? Lance crashed because of a misunderstanding. Max used racist slurs because of anger. The stewards said the crash was 50-50, but Max's language, 100% inexcusable. Yet only one of them faced consequences in their career. Lance gets roasted by fans daily. Max became a 4-time world champion. The question: can Max's talent excuse his behavior? Does Lance's wealth justify his F1 seat? The answer: F1 needs both skill and sportsmanship. Max has the skill but lacks the character. Lance has neither skill nor his father's humility. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more F1 controversies, smash that subscribe button, because in Formula 1, the drama never ends.